2, 1. Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, June 18th, 2021. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Demolition on the first of two historic Troy University dorms began this week. Crews started tearing down Gardner Hall on Wednesday. The demolition of Hamill Hall will follow in the coming days. The dorms are being torn down to make room for future expansion on campus. Both Hamill and Gardner Halls were built in the 60s and served as on-campus living quarters, as well as the police department for University Police and the Student Health Center. The Student Health Center has now moved to the Trojan Center, and the University Police Department moved to the University Park facility right off of campus. Well, summer at Troy University means it's time for incoming students to learn about their future college home. That comes in the form of impact orientation. As Claudia Peppenhorst shows us, there will be some differences between this summer and previous impacts.
The start of the summer orientation sessions, known as Impact here at Troy University, is right around the corner. But this year, the university has made some changes to the sessions, the biggest being the previous two-day orientation is now only one day.
So this year we have opted to stick again with a one-day format. I think that we're still kind of learning about how to reintegrate as a society, and so with Impact we want to be as cautious as possible in light of the tail end of this pandemic, and so we're really looking for a way to equip our students and have a really awesome time with them, and also get as much done as we can to like registering for classes.
Despite the changes to Impact this year, the Impact team is making sure that incoming students get the normal Trojan experience this summer.
I think our Impact leaders are vital towards the experience that our freshmen are going to have when they come to Impact. It's all about getting them excited about their color team and what Troy has to offer and the awesome clubs they can get involved with. And so the Impact leaders are super important. This training is super important for equipping them to give those students the best experience they can in a one-day format.
Even with the changes to Impact this year, Marvin says he is excited to see how the leaders bond with not only each other this summer, but the incoming students as well.
Troy never changes, Impact never changes in a lot of ways, and so our students are fully going to be equipped to start their freshman year or their first year at Troy, and so I'm just really excited to see the ways that our Impact leaders bond together and really create an experience that is a great catalyst for someone's Troy experience to begin.
And the first of those Impact sessions was this past Monday. Claudia Peppenhorst gives us a look at how Impact leaders and students are handling some of those changes made to this year's sessions.
Impact is finally here. Troy University's summer orientation is now in full swing here on campus, welcoming new students and introducing them to their new home come fall semester.
Today is our first Impact session. We are welcoming new students on campus. We have about 20 kids in all 7 of our groups, so we're welcoming a lot of students on campus and getting them ready to come to classes in the fall. We're helping them register and get them accustomed to Troy and what all they need to know before they get here.
Impact experienced some changes this year, with the past two-day session now only being one day, making for a busy and eventful orientation for students and leaders.
It's very back to back to back. We're very planned down to the minute, but I think it's going to go great overall. I think it helps us, keep everything moving along well, and it leaves less room for any casualties or anything bad to happen.
With Impact now in full swing here at Troy University, incoming students are finding their way around campus, exploring organizations, and experiencing what all the university has to offer.
So I came into Impact kind of nervous. I didn't really know anyone, and I didn't really know what it was going to be all about. And within the first session, in our first group session, I already made 2 friends. I've already learned where my dorm is. I've already learned about all the dining passes and everything, and it's kind of been really informational so far.
And with more Impact sessions ahead, the leaders are looking forward to welcoming more future Trojans on campus.
I'm just excited to be here, and I can't wait for the rest of the summer because I know it's going to be outstanding.
The incoming students are looking forward to the future as well and beginning their college experience.
I'm most excited for football season and making new friends and getting my degree.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, the Troy campus was filled with the sounds of music this week. We'll show you why after the break, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories. unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
If you store your guns properly,
so not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
Or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
Field renovations are underway for the Trojan soccer team, with improvements being made to the drainage system, among other upgrades. Simon Schuessler gives us a look at how the project is going and the progress that has been made so far.
Although it currently looks more like a BMX track, I'm actually standing right outside of the women's soccer field. The team had renovations done to fix a number of issues that they've had for the past couple seasons.
In early to mid-spring, we were given the opportunity to get basically a brand new field. So they're digging up everything, as you can see behind me, brand new drainage, a brand new sprinkler system, which is way more in-depth and comprehensive than the previous system. So it's going to allow the girls to have an opportunity to play on what we think is going to be one of, if not the best field in the conference.
Problems with the old drainage system meant the team could not be able to have a full field training session up to 3 days after rain. This new drainage system hopes to solve that problem by draining the excess water more effectively to ensure the team has a dry enough playing field.
Yeah, so there was one training session where we actually had a full field scrimmage. One of the girls kicked the through ball and she was sprinting onto it, and it literally just stopped in the puddle.
It's those sort of problems that the soccer team wants to avoid with the renovations. The team is currently using other facilities such as the football practice field in place of their normal field. That shouldn't last too long, however, as the construction is expected to be finished by early August before the season starts.
I think it's going to be great by the time that we start in pre-season, which is August 2nd, August 3rd. That's the time frame that the builders and the landscapers knew that we needed the surface by, and up to now the weather, knock on wood, has been cooperating. We've been getting a lot of work done on the surface. As you can see, it's completely different now than what it did look to be.
The schedule for next season has yet to be announced.
The Troy University campus was filled with the sound of music as the Sound of the South held its annual summer music leadership camp for students all this week. Zeta Ingram has the story.
Sunday afternoon kicked off the annual Sound of the South Summer Music Leadership Camp at Troy University. Students across the Southeast have come to campus for 5 days to learn from the one and only Sound of the South.
We're having our Sound of the South Summer Music Leadership Camp. We've got middle school and high school students from literally all over the Southeast that are coming here to spend a week with us and work on concert band, drumline, all kinds of things. So
while the camp has gone on for 50 years, it was canceled last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The staff members felt that this year was different in the best way possible. The atmosphere, the energy, and
the kids, seeing everybody and then seeing how excited they are, especially with this year with COVID coming back. Everybody's coming back to hopefully some sense of normalcy. And this is a lot of times the first chance, they actually chance to get to play with everybody together again. So seeing how excited they are every time they come into class and they're ready to go and they're just very enthusiastic about it.
And for the students, being back at camp is an experience that they have craved for so long. It is an experience that many of us have wished to have for quite some time.
It's really nice to kind of get back to some sense of normalcy and just to get to talk to people without masks and just experience it again, kind of like normal.
And for the staff, that is exactly their goal. To not only teach the students new skills, routines, lessons, and music, but to also exhibit the Trojan spirit and pride that makes this campus so special.
For me, it's a blessing to be a part of it because we get to see these kids, and hopefully every year they come back. And it gives us a chance for people to realize what Troy's all about and how Troy University has done for me since I graduated from here. It's pushed me to be the better person I am today.
Zeta Ingram, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, the final battles of the Creek War come to life in Troy. We'll have the sights and sounds from the historical reenactment right after the break.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
This past week, Troy University took part in the Southern Alliance Virtual Career Fair. It's an opportunity for students to meet virtually with potential employers, an interaction that's become increasingly common in recent years. But how does one prepare for what's essentially a virtual job interview? Zeta Ingram learned about some virtual career fair tips.
Ever since the rise of the coronavirus, people have become used to living in an online world. Whether it is talking to friends or family, there is a barrier: the computer screen.
But what does that mean for those seeking out employers by attending virtual career fairs?
The convenience is so attractive for virtual career fairs. We have more employers that are able to participate because even if they're far away, they can still join us virtually. And then students, although we want them to put a lot of effort into the way they look, of course, they don't have to leave home.
If you're anything like me, you're probably used to sitting at home in front of your computer wearing something more like this. However, you might want to change into something more like this for your virtual career fair.
If it's not appropriate to have on a full-blown suit, that's fine. Just wear business professional, at least a business casual minimum.
But appearance isn't the only thing to be cautious of when sitting in front of the screen.
I would recommend that students typically find a virtual background that is going to be clean. I wouldn't make it really busy or really bright colors. But I would also recommend if they don't have the technology to do that, just make sure there's a wall behind them that doesn't have a lot of pictures, maybe one simple picture, and not their bed in the background, not a messy table.
Alongside the physical preparations, Cole added that you want to have great lighting by sitting near a window or by turning on your overhead lights. However, when it comes to mentally preparing, it is best to get to know yourself before anyone else.
The biggest thing they can do is make sure they're prepared with what we call your elevator pitch, like a little 30-second to 1-minute summary of themselves that they can really give to the employer the first time they talk to them that will intrigue the employer to ask them more.
And just as the old saying goes, practice makes perfect.
The more you practice, the more confident you become, and that really comes across, even on a screen, even virtually. So I want students to practice so that they can be confident and calm.
Zeta Ingram, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Local residents had the chance to travel to the past last weekend through an immersive reenactment of history at the Pioneer Museum of Alabama. Kaylee Wright gives us a look.
2021 marks the 50th anniversary of the Pioneer Museum of Alabama. In order to commemorate the event, the museum is hosting a reenactment of the battle, Thunder at Three Notch, that took place here in Pike County.
There were two battles fought in Pike County in February and March of 1837, which were the last battles of the Creek War.
Bob McClendon, the coordinator of the reenactment, explained the origins of the battle.
What was left of the Creeks in Alabama were eventually given land that they were told they could live on for the rest of their lives. But by the early 1830s, settlers were coming in droves from South Carolina, Georgia, and other locations into Alabama, and they were pushing the Indians off their land.
However, the reenactment was not the only event. Visitors were transported to the 1830s and had the opportunity to learn about the settlers' daily lives, such as watching them spin wool and dye fabric, providing guests with an interactive learning experience.
So we're trying to tell history, and you can read about it in a book, but when you can go and see people in the clothing of the period, both Native American and the settlers and the militia, and talk with them and talk with a live person, it's for a lot of people it's easier to learn than reading it out of a book.
Kaylee Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn about Theater and Dance's Summer Spotlight Camp. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance will present their annual Summer Spotlight Camp in July. We'll learn more about the camp in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor, and today is Tori Averett, here to talk about Summer Spotlight. Tori, thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
And Summer Spotlight is back. It's an opportunity for students to be in the spotlight.
Yes.
And
or completely hide from the spotlight.
Or completely hide from the spotlight for some situations. But it is a creative drama camp, theater, a chance to get interactive with a couple of new additions this year that's kind of theater adjacent. But let's talk a little about it. Give us the background. What is Summer Spotlight for those who don't know?
Summer Spotlight is a series of fine and performing arts programs in the summer. Some of them feel like camps, day camps for our younger participants, and overnight residence intensives, and they are pretty intense, for our high school and college age participants. And we run the gamut. We've got performing on stage, singing, dancing, acting. We've got playwriting, storytelling. We've got the behind the scenes stuff, the technical theater, the lighting, the scenery, all that stuff. So we've got a little bit of something for everybody. And this year you mentioned some new additions. We've got a couple of really exciting new additions with our friends in the Department of Art and Design. We are piloting a comic camp, like a comic book camp, where they kind of mix the art of storytelling and characters and all that stuff that we already do in theater and drama, but mixing it with illustration and visual arts. And they'll come away with their own original comic book. That'll be interesting to see what they come up with. And then we're also piloting a film intensive. We've had a lot of requests for film and videography, so this would be more about independent filmmaking kinds of things rather than like journalistic filming. But we're doing that for our high school participants. Again, piloting it with a small group, and they'll come away with a short film.
And all of that kind of working together to that maybe, who knows, someday you may take that comic and turn it into a film. You know, the film industry does, you know, why not? But let's talk a little bit about the age ranges, because obviously this is one of those things you talk about, but you've got age ranges from the cutest little campers all the way up to the high school age, right?
Yes, we're ages 4 and up. And so we do a half day for our littlest ones, ages 4 to 7. We do a whole day camp for ages 8 to 13, and then again for 14 and up, those who are just getting their feet wet with the serious study in the arts, all the way up to the people who are thinking about careers or majoring in this stuff in college. So we've got, again, it just kind of spans all the ages and school grades.
And one of the cool things about this is that they're going through the process all the way to the end. They're putting on a show, which is one of those fun things that maybe some kids, they aren't coming from school programs that offer something to this level.
Right. We try to balance between learning about the stuff, learning about theater, trying some different things on, and dance and other things, and actually producing something, because we really want these kids to come away with some autonomy and feeling like they had a hand in making something. They have interest and a lot of creative ideas. And you're right, one of the reasons that Summer Spotlight exists is because we know that young people in this part of the country, in this part of the state, have got those ideas and they have that talent, but they don't always have the outlet in the school systems where we see most of our participants coming from. So for a week, we blow it out and we let their creativity run wild and keep them structured and just have a really great time. And some of the product that we create is really good. It's really exciting to see what they come up with in a week.
And of course, being able to see some of these that don't have the experience coming out of their shell and seeing what it's like and maybe opening their eyes to what could be a future in theater.
Yes. They get to try it out. Some of them come in and say decidedly, I want to be involved in this forever, but maybe as a supporter or someone behind the scenes or an audience member. But others come in and, as they say, get bit by the bug, and they want to do it as much as they can. And we've seen several young ones come all the way through the program. It's been around long enough now that we've seen some 4-year-olds graduate from high school and go, a lot of them to Troy, some of them not to Troy, and study in the arts, because they've found fulfillment and a way to creatively express, you know, and hopefully they'll have rich and full careers and lives as a result.
And of course, we talk about the older kids, the high school kids. They're the ones that are coming here for the more intensive training, and that could eventually filter into maybe becoming a part of the program here at Troy.
Yes, and we always say we don't do this to recruit students, but it certainly is a nice opportunity to let them see what the Troy campus is like and feel themselves on this campus and see if this is the kind of thing they might want to pursue. And of course, like every other good Trojan activity, we make them feel at home, give them a great time. But yeah, we do try to make sure that we're not just selling Troy. We're trying to connect these young people with opportunities and with a chance to express and be creative with people who are like them for a week.
Oh, and one of the things, and you talked about it earlier, is the opportunity to do both sides, in front and on stage and behind the scenes, which there are going to be people that have careers in theater that are behind the scenes, and that's one of those things a lot of people don't quite fathom, but it's there, and it's an opportunity you present in your camp.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's no secret. If you want to keep a job in the performing arts, you learn the behind the scenes stuff. Whether you're a performer who can also do his own lights, or you're just the person who is doing lighting and sound and costumes and makeup, those people work for careers that have longevity. So we're trying to equip the people who have no interest in performance with all that they need to get started, but also equip our performers with sort of that dual focus and remind them that having multiple skill sets is really important, especially in today's world. So yeah, we try to give them a little bit of everything.
All right, if anybody's interested in taking part this year, what can they do to register?
They can go to troy.edu/summer spotlight, pretty easy. They can also go to the troy.edu/camps page. There are several ways to get to us, and I think we're pretty frequented on Google, so they can just look us up, Troy Summer Spotlight.
And be able to register for there. Now, a lot of spots are already taken. It's a very popular camp, but there's still some available. Hit the site, see what the availability is, and if there's an opening, get on there and be a part of the program.
Yes.
Exciting, fun program. Taking up most of July here on campus with these creative artists. I want to thank you here for joining us, and good luck with this year's camp.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Thursday. Or you can visit us anytime on Troy TrojanVision's news blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News anytime. Until next week, have a good week.
You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
A lot can happen in a day. So when you're ready to know more than just what's happening, we'll bring you the voices who can tell you why.
This is All Things Considered.
Listen every afternoon, 3 to 5:30 p.m. on Troy Public Radio.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How would you not love him?